that sound?
Perfect.
So what I do, of course, is I run a social enterprise called the School for Startups, and we teach entrepreneurship. It's based on a philosophy that we believe that economic freedom leads to many other forms of freedom, and that if people can be empowered to take control of their life and their destinies by being able to run their own businesses and grow their own lives and have economic freedom, that serves as the basis from which they can then help change the lives of others. So we're proponents of entrepreneurship, and we teach entrepreneurship and support people in the starting of their own businesses, both in the UK, where we're based, and around the globe, as you know. So that's kind of what I do. Now, how did I get there, and what big year did I have along the way? I started as a software entrepreneur in California, teaching entrepreneurs, running software companies. So I ran a company after I graduated from university, sold it after 5 years, ran another company, started another company, grew it, sold it. And the second company that I sold to a very, very large U.S. public company. And my mistake was, instead of selling it for cash, I sold it for shares. And so I then became a shareholder in this larger company. And unfortunately, before I could sell my shares in the larger company, that larger company's share price fell by 99%, and I was wiped out. And without a doubt, the biggest year of my life was the year when I went from being poor to rich to poor, all in 1 year. And then I did a reverse takeover of the company that took me over, and then I installed myself as the CEO of this large company, and then ran it for 4 years. But without a doubt, if you want to pick out 1 year in my life where I had seminal change and it set me on my career path, there's no doubt that being bought by a large company, then going back to broke, and then doing a hostile takeover of that large company, and then running that large company was the year that changed the course and direction of my life.
Mr. Duke, and if you can choose the big year for the future, how would it be?
Ask that question again, Marcella.
If you could choose how your big year would be in the future, do you imagine your big year?
I imagine School for Startups becoming an organization that is so globally important that at some point in the future, there's a magazine article, the cover of The Economist shows the School for Startups, and on it says the social enterprise that moves the GDP of nations.
Great. And which advice could you give to young leaders that are actually kind of fighting for the same that you're fighting each day?
Largely that it's very good to be persistent, and it's very good to be passionate. And people will tell you, never give up and be passionate about what you do. I would actually give slightly different advice, and that's be thoughtful. Plan, then execute. Measure twice, cut once. It's been my experience that people jump off cliffs far too easily, and that in fact the people who are rewarded and who succeed are the ones who go into it having analyzed, thought, planned, and then begun.